Good evening, everybody, and welcome into this week's edition of the Milford Informer. I am your host, Tim Coet. Well, it has been a non-stop week of basketball playoff action for both of Milford High's teams. Since we've been spending some extended time on the road this week to cover all of the tournament games, we have an abbreviated version of the Informer for you. We're going to get you caught up on everything that has taken place in the MIAA playoffs so far this week. First, we'll take you back to Tuesday night, where the Lady Hawks basketball team got their postseason run started up in Worcester against Burncoat High School. Then we'll take you over to Medfield High School, which was the site for Thursday's quarter-final game for the Hawks boys basketball team. Let's not waste any more time. Here are the highlights. A series of late-season injuries caused Milford to stumble a bit heading into the playoffs. Thanks to an 11-day layoff in between their regular season finale and the opening round of the tournament, the Lady Hawks had plenty of time to rest up and get healthy before entering into an 8 versus 9 seed matchup with the Burncoat High School Lady Patriots. The Milford offense was hoping for a much better offensive start to the playoffs this year after scoring just 2 points in the first quarter of their opening round loss to Marlborough a season ago. Just over 30 seconds into this playoff matchup, Milford would turn good defense into their first offensive chance of the night. Emily Pierre-Gustavo was able to create the steal against Burncoat scoring star Mare Gallagher, and then it's up ahead to Milford scoring leader Kate Irwin, who goes up and under to deliver the first points of the night. Moments later, off a Burncoat miss, Julie Rabinowitz pushes the floor in transition. She teams up with Irwin on a pretty give-and-go up the floor, with Rabinowitz finishing at the rim. Milford would have great success with their transition offense as the first quarter went on. Here, Milford gets the big numbers advantage up the floor, and Irwin has no problem finding Jess Tomaso with the pass and just converts it into points to give Milford a 6-point edge. The Lady Hawks would close out the opening period maintaining that 6-point lead, but the duo of Kate Irwin and Jess Tomaso were ready to build on that lead as the game shifted into the second quarter.
Pass into Valenzola, now right back out to Irwin. Milford still has not managed to have much luck with their outside shooting, but Jess Tomaso off the rebound, able to put it back for 2. Short on the shot, Irwin with the rebound, pulls away, and is able to lay it in. Here's Gallagher now, she'll release a long 3 off the back of the rim. The rebound momentarily controlled by Tapia, but she couldn't hold on to it. Now here's Tomaso sneaking ahead of the defense, and no problem to convert on the other end of the floor. Milford in full command as Kate splits a double team in the backcourt. She will drive all the way to the basket. Too easy for Kate. Both teams trying to get their outside shooting going, but we have not seen a successful 3-point shot on either side to this point in the half. And right on cue, Jess Tomaso breaks that trend.
Irwin and Tomaso would combine for 17 of the 19 points Milford posted in quarter 2, and that would allow the Lady Hawks to carry a hefty 19-point lead into the half. As the second half began, Julie Rabinowitz would keep the pressure on, receiving a good pass from Irwin and burying a 3. Julie would contribute 9 points on the night to continue her late-season offensive surge. Later in the quarter, it's more good work from Kate Irwin. She forces yet another Burncoat turnover and races away from the defense to push the Milford lead all the way up to 22 points. But there was no slowing down in sight for the Lady Hawks on this night.
Shot blocked on the way up. Gallagher flies in on the back end of the play, but can't convert on a shot. Now here's Tomaso. She gets the shot and a chance for the 3-point play.
Fast forward to the midway point of the fourth quarter, Jill Valenzola makes her defender miss badly inside, and she's able to convert on the layup to establish an even 30-point Milford lead. From there, Coach Dolliver would have the opportunity to give his bench players a taste of postseason play. Isabella Renault would be one of the players to take advantage of those minutes. Here, with Burncoat struggling to maintain possession, Renault picks off the pass and lays it in for 2. Then after another Burncoat miss, Renault eventually grabs hold of the loose ball, and this time she turns facilitator as she lobs the pass up ahead to a wide-open Jillian Mickelson, who gets the layup. Milford delivered a strong opening statement to the rest of the field in the Division II Central bracket as they enter the Burncoat gym, and they walk away with a resounding 63-27 victory as Milford advances to the quarterfinal round.
And the bench out there to seal the deal on a 63-27 playoff victory for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks. After losing in the first round a season ago to Marlboro, they come in here to Burncoat High School, and they lead this one virtually wire to wire. They win it going away.
It was exciting to see our team last night. It was our full roster for the first time in about a month. So I was happy to see that. It's definitely a different atmosphere at practice and at the game, and I thought we played great. Being the first game that we've had our full roster for the first month, I thought we gelled well. We did things the right way. So I was happy to see, obviously, with the outcome. So I was very pleased on how we played last night.
I felt pretty good. It was a great win for us. It was a huge team effort all around. Even though going in as the 9 seed and then the 8 seed, we knew that we had to start off strong. We didn't want it to be a close game. We knew if we played our hardest, the way that we have been lately, pushing it on transition and, just passing the ball around, making our shots, we knew that we could come out with a win.
I think we all played really well, and it was just so nice to win a playoff game, obviously, and the way we did it the entire time. I thought it was just, we played really well.
I thought we played really well. We worked really well together last night and everything. Our shots weren't really falling in the beginning, but we stepped it up and we figured out ways to score on transitioning and all that, and I thought we played really well together, and I was very happy.
Us seniors, it was our second playoff game that we've been in, counting last year and then this year. So we definitely had some experience under our belts, and with us in playing in different sports, we've also experienced being in the playoffs. So I think that also helped. The atmosphere was crazy. They had some pretty loud fans, and then we had a lot of loud fans with us too, so it was very loud in there. We had to scream a lot to, get our point across, but it was crazy.
They have experience all over the place, and so it definitely shows in those atmospheres, and I'm very excited to see how it shows up on Friday. We're playing the number 1 seed, very good, well coached, tall, athletic. So we'll see how that experience comes into play on Friday, and it could take us a long way, all the way to a victory. So I'm excited for it.
They're definitely good. I mean, they deserve their 1 seed. They're not a bad team. They're a good team. But, we watched a little film a while ago, and they're nothing, special. I think we can match up with them pretty good. And if we play our hardest, I think if we play like we did last night but a little harder, I think we can come out with a win.
3 of their girls are my height, and usually it's in the Hawk, there's obviously very tall people, but it's usually just 1, maybe 2, and me and Juliana in TK cover them. But since there's 3 and some of them are guards, and still they still have a lot of height, it's gonna be kind of a challenge on us down low, but also for the guards since they're bigger. But we'll do it.
You're going to take care of the basketball for sure. They're going to try and pressure us the entire game. And like I said, they're well coached, they're long, they're athletic. They run probably about 9 deep, so they have fresh legs. If we can take care of the basketball, then we're in good shape to try and score the basketball, along with not give them easy buckets. Because if you turn the ball over, they'll get out in transition and they're going to get a good look out of it. So a lot of things that we need to work on, but we got to get back to work immediately. So I'm excited for it. And technically we don't have to be practicing today. We could, or we might not have been practicing today. So we're here and it's a good day. So I'm happy for it.
It was a big motivation losing last year to do better this year, and we also broke that 17-year streak of not winning a game in the playoffs. So that was definitely a big motivation for us too, to get further into the playoffs as we can.
Obviously, we've gotten to the playoffs. We were talking about that last year, how long ago we went in the playoffs, because my entire high school career, with the exception of last year, we didn't make it to playoffs. So to actually win a playoff game, that was pretty amazing.
We're doing things that no one really thought Milford girls basketball would do. We made the playoffs. We're 12-8. They haven't had a record like this in so long. So I think we're doing so many things that people thought, we wouldn't be able to. And it feels really good to prove some people wrong, so Just feels great.
Both of these fan bases are pumped up and ready to go to see quarterfinal playoff action. The Milford Scarlet Hawks, the number 5 seed, taking on the number 4 seeded Medfield Warriors. A lot of Milford fans making the trip as Brendan White releases the 3 and paces the offense here tonight for Milford. And now it's Cosquet surveying his options. Tomorrow gets it to White. White releases another 3, and Brendan White heating up early here in the first quarter. Milford not looking at all phased, playing here on the road. Here's Tomorrow now. He'll try his luck from 3, and Milford absolutely scorching hot from long range here in the early minutes of the first quarter, and that forces a very early timeout. Cosquet wanting to release that shot from 3-point range, gets it back to Saylor. A little touch shot, one-handed from Saylor, effective. It's now been an 8-4 run in favor of Medfield. And we can make it a 10-4 run as Jake Dubs converts on that short-range jumper, and Milford resets for one final play. Getting a lot of communication from Coach Seaver on the sidelines. Here's Tomorrow. He'll release it and gets the 3, his second of the quarter. And 1 second left to go. Can Medfield get a shot away? They do, but it hits back iron, and Milford is able to up the lead back up to 8 points at the conclusion of the first quarter of play. Joey Everett checking into the game for the first time now as Cosquet releases the outside shot, counted from 3. White outside for Cosquet, had plenty of time, passes up the shot this time. Now White will take it, and he nails his third 3-pointer of this first half. 10 seconds left to go. Medfield trying to give themselves something to go into the break with. 3 seconds to go, and count it for Michael Mary, and that will end up being the final shot of the half. Mary's first points from the floor in the half allowed Medfield to cut the deficit back down to single digits. Medfield, another chance under the basket. No luck again. Fraioli this time makes sure they do not have a third opportunity as Brendan White cuts all the way to the basket. And Brendan White has landed just about every shot he has taken so far in this game, now up to 14 points. Cosquet. Now it's Kelly in some trouble. The steal, Cosquet gets it back, tries to bank it off the glass and gets it in, just beating the buzzer. And near disaster there for Milford with the turnover results in one final blow courtesy of Shane Cosquet. The quick release pushes Milford's lead up to 54-42. They take a 12-point lead now into the final period. We come down to the final 5 minutes. Here's Cosquet right through the middle. Goes up with the right hand and gets his first bucket here in the fourth quarter. 12.9 seconds to go as we see some substitutions here on the Medfield side. Looks like they'll take their starters out here for the final seconds. No more fouls as Milford will dribble out the final seconds of this clock coming in to the Medfield gymnasium, and they will lead this one wire to wire, coming away with a 67-60 victory here tonight. Milford racing out to a 9-0 lead in the early seconds of the first quarter, and they never looked back from there. They eliminate Medfield here in the quarterfinal round, and Milford punches their ticket to the semifinal.
What a tremendous start to the playoffs for both teams. Now, the girls were originally slated to play their quarterfinal game against Groton Dunstable later tonight, but that game was moved up to a 4 p.m. start due to the impending bad weather. As of Friday, around noontime, the teams were still planning on keeping the game on the schedule, but with the weather intensifying as the day goes on, it's important for everyone to follow along with Milford Athletic Director Peter Boucher on Twitter to find out the latest details on the game. Meanwhile, the boys will have their next game on Tuesday, March 6th. The game will be played at Worcester Polytechnic Institute against the number 1 seed Marlborough. That, of course, is a rematch of last year's D2 Central first round game, which Milford came back in overtime to steal on Marlborough's home floor. We will continue to have coverage for as long as we're allowed to follow the team. Make sure you check in with our social media accounts to get updates on our live streaming sports coverage. Well, that is going to wrap up this shortened edition of The Informer. We thank you as always for tuning in, and from all of us here at Milford TV, this is Tim Coet saying have a great week. So long, everybody.